Hello everyone, and welcome to my personal intro video for EDL 855. My name is Kurt Stubbs. Here are some personal demographics. I teach at Ridgeview STEM Junior High, which is part of the Pickerington Local School District. You can see the emblem up there in the top right corner. This is my 7th year at the school. I teach Math 7 and Advanced Math 7. We have 930 students in grades 7 through 8. We have 2 junior high buildings in Pickerington, so the other one has around 830 to 840. We have 111 teachers in the junior high. We are a suburb of Columbus, Ohio, with roughly 22,000 people. We have approximately 11,000 students in our district. You can see some of our demographics there from the 2017-2018 state report card. Here's some personal information about myself. I was born and raised in St. Clairsville, Ohio, near the border of Ohio and West Virginia. Graduated from St. Clairsville High School in 1999. Also graduated from Ohio University in 2005. I'm married to my wife, Dana, who is a 3rd grade intervention specialist in a nearby district. We have a 10-month-old son named Hudson James Stubbs. I put my hope in Christ. I enjoy working out, basketball, baseball, and football, and I'm also the host of the Ohio High School Hoops Around the State podcast. Looking at one of the journals that we were asked to read, it talked about the topic of mindsets. 3 mindsets that it spoke of. All students can learn, which I agree with, as long as your leaders, teachers, staff is finding ways to connect, support, and reach all of these students, because as we know, a lot of these students do not come to us every single day with the mindset that they are going to learn. So we have to develop those relationships with them, connect with them in order for them to be able to learn in our classroom. Collaboration over isolation. This is something I also agree with, and I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the presentation. Team and collaboration will move a school forward faster and further. Happiness and optimism. Acknowledge that challenges and obstacles exist, but also have the mindset that we can change is a key here. So I agree with that as well. Some dispositions. 5 dispositions that were talked about. Confidence, which is focusing on making decisions, what is best for student learning and to ensure equity within their school. Not afraid to make tough decisions despite critics. I do believe this is a key component of any good leader, because any good leader, no matter how well they are doing or how poorly they are doing, they're going to have critics. So not being afraid to make those tough decisions, especially in a school environment where you have school board, administration, staff, teachers, parents, students, all thinking they know best. So being a leader, you have to be able to face those critics, but yet still move forward with your plan. Risk takers and decisive, learn by doing and are not afraid of failure. I put a thumbs up and a thumbs down there. Because I do agree with this in a way, but you don't want to be reckless with your risk taking. These need to be calculated and intentional. But I do believe that, as a leader, you cannot be afraid of failure. Sense of humor. This allows leaders to have a positive impact on others as well as themselves. This is not just simply being funny, but knowing when the right time is to add some humor to the situation. Emphatically assertive. Understand the challenges that change may bring. That is a part of a great leader, that they do recognize that in the people that they are asking to change, but aren't afraid to move forward with only a few followers. So if you got 2, 3, 4, 5 people in your building that are all in with you, it is key for that leader to move forward with those followers and hopefully continue to educate those that are not yet on board. A learner, observe data from other high-performing schools. This is huge. And look for ways to help their school improve. share and put their new findings into practice, not just keep them to themselves, but share these with others, and not just simply read about them, but do something with them. Practice, knowing versus doing. Focus and prioritizing. This is something that I've specifically been doing myself quite a bit. Simplicity over complexity. Be able to communicate with clarity what is being prioritized. Examining feedback and data. The right data needs collected, reviewed, and acted on with the intent of making an impact. I did put a thumbs up and a thumbs down here because I think in the educational field right now, it is all about data, data, data. And a lot of times we analyze a lot of data and nothing ever really comes of it. We don't have any intent, or maybe there is an intent, but there's really no plan in place to do anything with the data once it's been looked at. Emotional intelligence, treat people with dignity and respect, make them feel safe and valued, and be present in every conversation. This is huge for a leader. This is something I'm working on myself right now. The 8 principles of ethical leadership. Recognizing talent. This is big, no matter what leadership position you're in, is to recognize the excellence in others and maximize those talent and put people in positions to raise the level of the community. Requiring high ethics from everyone, not just yourself. Sensitivity and understanding. We live in a time right now where there's a lot of political and social and economic issues going on, so being well aware of that is a big part of being a leader in a school system right now. And inclusiveness, making sure that all stakeholders are brought into the process of making and implementing decisions. I give a thumbs up for all of these, but when it comes to inclusiveness, I think a lot of times that not everybody that is a stakeholder in the school is involved in making these decisions. And that's just from my point of view of my experience. Personal evaluation. Mindset, I would say a weakness would be isolation over collaboration. I said I was going to talk about this a little later. This is something I still struggle with at times, despite an assortment of teamwork we implement in our district. We do all kind of professional development, team planning time, math department planning time, and I love what my teammates and my peers have to say and all their great ideas. But sometimes I just revert back to old habits of wanting to do my own thing. Disposition, I'd say, is strength as a learner and a sense of humor are 2 areas I would consider. For me, I'm always trying to learn and get better, and I do think that I have a knack for providing humor when necessary. Weakness could be confidence, risk-taking, and assertiveness are all areas I'm working on, but wouldn't consider a strength at this point. I'd say that because I don't think that these are qualities that are really encouraged, because risk-taking is not, like I said, not something that's encouraged in the education field. You're kind of looked at as an outcast if you're doing that. I know it sounds great on paper, but a lot of times administration and the people above them kind of look down upon that. Practices, some strengths, focusing and prioritizing, examining feedback and data, and emotional intelligence are all qualities I have really dialed in on, being intentional in these 3 areas. I'm in the process of doing more over knowing more. Ethical leadership, I'd say strength would be self-control, self-discipline, and integrity. Weakness, I recognize and acknowledge the talents in others, but don't always maximize them as a real result of isolation over collaboration. And I spoke about this. This all kind of ties in together. In summary, how does all this support the educational success and well-being of each student and adult? I think these things, this is not something we can merely talk about, but in professional development or a book study, but rather put it into practice or into action. I like this quote from my pastor, Keith Manier. We don't have a knowledge problem, we have an obedience problem, meaning there's so much knowledge out there that we can tap into, but actually putting it into practice is another thing. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I look forward to learning from each one of you.